right. We've got two authors left for you. And this is a fascinating journey. I know that you are going to love to hear about this book. Angelina Lombardo. She is the author of Love Letters to a Stripper, Create a Future That Will Have You Ditching the Desperation of Dancing. We're going to hear about this book right now. Angelina, come join me.
Hello.
So let's talk about Love Letters to a Stripper. I know that one of my favorite books is Love Letters to a Poet, Love Letters to a Young Poet. And your book so much reminds me about this. The message in there is really for everyone, but you speak from your heart to somebody who has an exotic dancing career and maybe is ready to ditch that and find a new future. Why this book? Why this message?
So this was the book that I wish I had when I was actually navigating through the adult entertainment industry and also navigating my way out of the industry. So I wrote specifically to those people who were me.
What do you wish you knew?
That's a good question.
Well, you had an alternative title. Most of our authors have many alternative titles, but one of them really surprised me. So one of your titles was Broke Stripper.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, we always think of strippers of having money, coming out of everywhere. They've always got money. So I thought that was so fascinating that there's actually maybe money blocks, money obstacles there. What are some of the things that you think would hold somebody in a career in the adult entertainment industry, or really any job where they're just not ready to ditch the desperation and get out?
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's threefold: body, mind, and spirit, to be honest. And a lot of it has to do with shame and hiding, disconnection from yourself and from what you really want. And I would say also not knowing what you want, not being clear, doing things out of what you think you should be doing. Also, legitimizing yourself in some way. So some of what happens in hiding is you're doing that job, hiding, you're making some money, but you're also showing up somewhere else and not saying what's happening behind the scenes. So I think the shame is a pretty big.
I was going to say I think it's an AA line, we're only as shameful as our secrets.
Yeah, that's a good
one. That really holds people back in so many areas.
Absolutely does.
So when you started this process of writing a book, a lot of people here that are watching or thinking about writing a book, did you think this would be the book when you signed up and said, Angela, I want to write a book with you? Was this the book you knew you would write?
So in some ways, yes, and some ways, no. Actually, not at all. I'm a hustler, and I wanted to get a message out pretty quickly, and I wanted to reach people that I have heart and soul for, and that came through some of your process, actually. So you may think you're going to do one thing one way, but since I like to live and feel into my moments in life and meet them, I did a bit of a detour and decided that I would actually take two parts of my life, or a part that I hid myself, right, and bring it out into the limelight, so to speak. And I want to make it mainstream.
Yeah.
The taboo. Yeah.
So
I'm gonna break that.
So here's a question which is about courage. How did you get the courage to write this book? I think it's such an important one, especially when people have their own stories, whether it's about sexual trauma or sometimes it can be career decisions, but so many people just don't have the courage to tell their story. How did you get the courage?
Yeah. I'll tell you how I got the courage. I jumped. I did it. Action. I think that sitting and thinking about things got me nowhere, and it's messy. So my process was messy, and the courage came through doing it and seeing that I actually
didn't die.
I didn't die. I did not succumb to fears, and I definitely had anxieties, and it was a messy process for me inside. But I realized that there were two places there were ultimately it brought me to a healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll take that and give you a question from Leslie, who says, was writing and finishing your book everything you hoped it would be?
1,000% and more. 1,000% and more, much more. Huge transformation personally, especially for me. I did who I'm writing to is
Show
someone
them the book.
hiding, right?
Yeah.
And I did this and said this in front of people that did not know. And there are people that did not know that this is what I did. So yeah,
It's such a
1,000%.
huge, like, writing the book for me, I always say, is 10% of it. It's everything else is so much more than you can imagine.
Yeah.
This is Angelina's book, Love Letters to a Stripper by Angelina Lombardo. Get a copy of this book on Amazon right now. You'll see the link there. You know you're curious. Get it.
That's true. Curiosity for sure.
All right. Thank you, and
Thank you for
congratulations
having me.
again.